What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNVDriversedition. And today, it is a beautiful 58 degrees in the Chicagoland area. We are coming out these cold winter months, and you know what that means? That means, you guessed it, the Corvettes are out. I've been getting the phone calls, I've been getting the text messages saying, hey man, it's a beautiful day outside. Won't you grab your C8, hop in Zeus and come? Wait, that's right. You don't own a Corvette no more. The jabs are coming in, but I appreciate it. But because the jabs are coming in, what's also coming in is the conversations about the new Chevy Grand Sport. You guessed it. The Chevy Grand Sport was on display at Sebring. And because of that, the conversations have been coming in. I've spent the last, I guess you can say, 3 to 4 hours talking to 5 different people about the Grand Sport and what I think about the actual design, how the Grand Sport logo has been displayed, and what this really means for Corvette when it comes to changing the game. So let's hop back into another Grand Sport conversation, and we can tell you, or let me say, I will tell you what I think is going to happen with the Corvette going on in the future. Let's talk about it. So as the Corvette Grand Sport has been on display, what I will sit there and say what is significant to me is that it was around the track at Sebring. Yes, it did laps with other Grand Sports. So if GM wanted to do an ultimate reveal, that was the way to do it. We've seen the Grand Sport logo on the side, and guess what we did not see? We did not see the X logo on the Grand Sport X. So when all these people keep asking me that the Grand Sport is actually replacing the E-Ray, or should I say the Grand Sport X is replacing the E-Ray, well, there is going to be a Grand Sport model without the actual all-wheel drive hybrid system, and GM had it on display. Now, the other thing I've also want to discuss about this Sebring exposure, or should I say surprise introduction to the lineup, is there was no camo on the car. So let's go back to this later on in the conversation, because I got to get some stuff off my chest. But there is no camo on the car. So we got to see in full display what the Grand Sport is actually going to look like. And what we actually saw was body colored vents, or should I say boomerangs, or whatever you want to call them, from the Z06 and the E-Ray edition. They were on the Grand Sport. The Grand Sport was also supporting, or should I say carrying over, the traditional blue, red, and white colors with the hash marks on the back of the car. We got to see the traditional, or should I say the historical representation of a Chevy Grand Sport. But remember, the Grand Sport comes in all different colors, so you'll be able to spec this car out in multi-colors if you actually choose to get one. Now, what we also were looking for in this Grand Sport reveal from GM was how would the engine actually sound, which kind of keeps the controversy going on about what it actually will be, whether it be a 6.7 liter engine or whether it would be some other version of an engine that we've already seen, plus some performance and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, I think that is a great sign, because GM is keeping the mysterious, or should I say the mystique going on about what they're revealing with this car. Now, from all the hidden, or should I say released information, from leaked information to YouTubers putting out dropped information from engineers and so forth, we are expecting the upgraded, more performance version of a V8 to go inside this car. I'm going to tell you right now, I expect that to happen. The all-wheel drive system we expect to happen on the Grand Sport X, which has been rumored to be true, or should I say it's come out from some great sources that we can't really disclose, but a Grand Sport X is coming. Now, why I say this is all significant, because you heard me say time and time again that a Z06X, in my opinion, will grace our presence one day at the Corvette lineup. I say because the Grand Sport has been revealed now, and I've said this before, back when the C8 Z06 was revealed, and I said this again when the C8 E-Ray was revealed, and I said this again when the C8 ZR1 was revealed. I've been telling you guys the same thing. And the same conversation has actually been these two focal points. Once they reveal the full body of the car, hence the C8Z06. There is no point in running around with more camouflage C8Z06s on the street. Typically what we start to see once they reveal the car is more Z06s appear without camo, and they start running performance tests. And then the cars that we see still with camo, although people want to say, oh no, it's just the C8Z06, it actually turned out to be an E-Ray. Then when the E-Ray was revealed and they took the camo off the E-Ray and they started running all these performance tests, and you start to see more E-Ray flood the streets in the hands of engineers and so forth, we saw cars in camo. And people kept saying, oh, those were just E-Rays left over that were still in camo that GM was testing. And then we later found out those were C8ZR1s. And not only were they C8ZR1s, they was also C8ZR1Xs. And the same thing happened again. When the C8ZR1 came out and they removed the camo from the C8ZR1, and I want you to understand something that's very significant. When the C8ZR1 did its top speed of 233 miles per hour, what many people missed, and I say this again, what many people missed is the car actually achieved that feat using and driving with a lower wing option that is not technically available on the C8ZR1. So if you go back and watch the footage, they actually tell you that the C8ZR1 achieved that top speed using a wing setup that was similar to the wing on the C8Z06. So when people go out and say, I'm going to do 233 miles, I got a car to, technically you don't have the setup to achieve that high mileage because GM had a certain spec vehicle to accomplish it. But people miss that all the time. Now back to my rant, I guess I would say. So when this has happened with the ZR1 coming out, and then we're seeing more cars running around in camo, and that's the ZR1X. Then guess what happens now? We see the C8ZR1X get revealed, and there's more camo cars running the street. And guess what happened with those camo cars? The rumors start swirling. Hey, guess what? There's a Grand Sport coming. There's a Grand Sport coming. Well, you guys were right. There was a Grand Sport coming, and it was still in camo, and it just got revealed. But if the Chevy Grand Sport is the last hurrah, or are we trying to say the cars we still see in camo today are the Grand Sport X? I mean, you can ride that along, but I keep telling people we're going to mess around and see a Z06X grace our appearance before the C8 lineup runs out. But not only will we see a C8Z06X run out, I want people to understand, and I've said this countless times before, and I'm going to say it 100% again. One of these cars, if not multiple of these cars that we are seeing in camo, is testing the C9 powertrain. GM started testing the C8 platform 5 years before it came out. So if you listen to that, and I want you to understand this, not the platform, but what they felt would be the final version of the base C8 to go inside of the C8, they started testing that powertrain 5 years before it came out. They actually were testing, and this information is out there, they were testing the C8Z06 motor alongside the 2019 C7 ZR1. They were testing the C8Z06 up against that version of the car. So these test mules have been out long before the car ever graced us with presence. And if history is repeating itself, and I'm not even going to say history repeating itself, because this has been the history of the Corvette engineer team. They've always started testing the next version or the next powertrain for the next Corvette coming during this current model year that's out for sale. They just don't talk about it. So we have to believe the C9 is already being tested. And if people want to sit there and say, well, 2030 is going to be the last model year of the C8, that says a lot about the Corvette platform and what's to come in the future. And if you want to hear more about my thoughts about what's coming with the future with the C9 platform, let me know in the comments below, because it's going to be surprising. And I think a lot of you are going to be shocked. But I will sit there and say this. The C8 is running so long and you're getting so many versions of the C8 because GM is telling you something that you may not want to hear. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are about these camo cars. And were you actually surprised about the C8 Grand Sport gracing us presence at Sebring? Now, the one thing I will sit there and say is, out of the people that was present, I really haven't heard, and people are commenting and saying that they really didn't get to hear a good sounding exhaust note from the car, as the GM team did not actually get on the car in a way that they felt they should. Plus, they didn't get any rares like they thought they would want to have. And for that purpose alone, they really can't comment on how much of a difference or how great it actually sounds. So again, I give GM props for keeping the mystery, or should I say the mystique behind the car. But it is coming. You've seen proof. And I know the hype is going to keep coming. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. ICNV Drivers Edition, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Drivers Edition community. We are an interactive community, which means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms or in the comments below, I'll do my best to respond. And if the topic you bring up is interesting enough, I may even shoot a video on it. But don't forget, we were all made in his image and given dominion over the world, which means we weren't just meant to be. So chase your dreams, build your visions, never ever give up, and embrace your own identity. It is okay to be unique. We were all given unique gifts to become the best version of us that we can possibly be. So step into your calling, become the blessing to the world that you were meant to be. Just remember to stay humble, stay focused, and stay blessed. And I'll see you in these streets. Peace.